Lazy vermin.
Wait to take a
If
load
you
off
want to
at the
eat
inn.
this week, work.
Yes, mistress.
Well, get to it. Now!
Yes, mistress. Sorry, mistress.
Pardon the mess. My slaves require another lesson concerning their work ethic, and they're no good overseer as well. I suppose I'll have to wield the lash myself today. Have my friends been gossiping about her again? You'd think there were no better topics of conversation. Yes, Tywin is my slave. She's no unshed Nixhound, but she's still a capable harvester. What do you want to know about her? Well, I need someone who can do that too, and I already have Tywin. Seems like you're out of luck. Baseless slander! Though I do tire of these ugly rumors surrounding my son. 3 red star shells. That's the smallest offer I'll entertain. A bargain. You have.
Oh, Tywin, where are you? What I'd give for just a glimpse. Well, did you speak to my mother? What did she say? Knowing her, it's something incredibly unreasonable. 3? 3? That's as many as Tywin manages to find in a month. And she's perfect. No. If Mother found out, she'd never let Tywin go free. Not for any price. It's an unreasonable sum. But the fact that she asked for red star shells might work in our favor. I've been training a Nixhound to help Tywin so she can spend more time with me instead of in that vile swamp. Aside from the Fetch a Fly incident, Nixie's got a solid track record. I'm certain she won't let us down. She's around here somewhere. Nixhounds vanish when they're afraid, and Nixie's a bit skittish. She'll head off toward the water after I call her. Look around the shorelines, and you'll probably find her digging up shells. Just go where she points. Come on, Nixie, show yourself! There you are. Nixie, go find star shells. Show this nice person where they are.
Quite the money. Hey, what are you doing? Stop! Who are you? These are given lands, you know. Take any star shells from this beach and you'll have them to reckon with. He sent you here. To what, spy on me? To find I can't even find privacy out in this forsaken muck. Because this is the one place I'm permitted to go that he's too afraid to follow. Out here, I don't have to endure his constant fawning or pretend not to see him watching me out of the corner of my eye. Love! I'm a slave and he's my master, or as close as makes no difference. Wouldn't so much as smile in his direction if it didn't spare me the rod. Tell me why he has you gathering red star shells. What's he up to now? Gods, no. Fear of his mother's wrath is the only reason I can keep him at arm's length. If he's getting this bold, I have to get out of here. What Lonus wants for me isn't freedom. You really want to free me. Help me get away from these people. Faris keeps my servitude obligation hidden in a house. Steal it for me. I can forge a signature. It won't be perfect, but it should hold up well enough to get me out of Telvanni lands. I don't want to be bought. I want to be free. After all Faris and Lonus have taken from me, I don't want them to profit from my release. At least let me cost them.
There's an urgent task for you.
I've summoned the guard.
sure things safer with a zombie than in some stuffy vault.
One cannot step light with...
What's on the docket today?
The
See,
guild
you're leaving the
requests your
estate.
help.
You decided not to help me, didn't you? I knew I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. You really did it. You... What's the catch? What do you expect for this? I don't know what to say. I was resigned to my fate before you showed up. Hardly seems real. Maybe it isn't. Not until I'm staring at the shores of the Somerset Isles. I'll need it. You didn't ask for anything, but I want you to have this. Just the gold I managed to hide away over the years, minus what I'll need for passage. Not payment, a gift. For a friend. Goodbye, and thank you so much.
Hey! Get away from her! You will ruin everything!
Shut up, you slavering jackal. You see this? I'm free.
Tywin, I was supposed to free you. I was going to take your hand in marriage. It was going to be perfect. You ruined it!
Listen to me, you little swit. I'm not your plaything, never was, and never will be. I'd sooner lie with the maggots than share your bed.
That can be arranged! When I tell Mother about this, you'll wish you'd never spurned me! You'll beg! You will beg!
That was liberating. Don't worry, I know these lands better than they ever will. Thanks again.
The guild has need of you, comrade.
Halt! Just my luck. Please, just obey the law from now on.
Mind your step. I would not want you to step on this random patch of grass. I jest, of course. The Telvanni force me to work, but I make sure it brings them no pleasure. I see you wear no shackles. Do you seek work? I know someone who needs help. In truth, you would be helping many Saxhleel, myself included. During my latest escape attempt, I met an amber beauty with eyes like summer rain. Her Lucial name is Sun in Shadow, but I call her my heart. She hatches a plan to set us free. Seek her out in Tel Naga. If I know my heart, she will be sunning herself in the light of some book. Always reading that one, always learning. If all goes to plan, she will read her books beside me in the boughs of a hist. Soon, I hope. Walk with Sithis, my friend. And mind the Telvanni. They spin lies like an elder at the yarn wheel. I ventured too far from the hist and did not heed the bird signs. Dark elf slavers spine-hooked me near Thorn. I escaped 4 times, but never for long. Eventually the Telvanni bought me, at a discount I am told. I take pride in that at least. Laws are slippery things. The Ebonheart Pact outlawed Argonian slavery, but House Telvanni refused to join the pact. In truth, I cannot imagine how they would live without slaves. The Magisters are like overstuffed crocodiles, dangerous, but lazy. I thank you for your offer, but I tire of breaking free only to be recaptured a day later. Sun in Shadow's plan will earn us a lasting freedom. If you help her, you help me. Mages mostly. Members of the so-called Great House Telvanni. One of the 4 great houses of the Dark Elves. They love using that word, great. Great at ruining lives, perhaps. Yes, and Khajiit also. You see, for a Telvanni, life is nothing but a cheap struggle for mastery and control. Mastery of their dry-skinned magics, control of their mushroom towers, and dominion over people. People like us.
Don't cause trouble.
I hope you haven't bothered yourself with talking to any of our slaves. You'll quickly find they aren't much for conversation. And if they are, please let me know. I'd love to have a chat with them.
Comrade, a word.
Yes. Can I help you, Suryo? Bless his eyes. Yes, I'm Sun in Shadow. Ioki told you I have a plan to earn our freedom, right? It will require finesse and discretion. I trust that I can count on you for both. To earn my freedom, I need the help of Magister Thurama. She's a recently elevated Telvanni Magister. Not so set in her ways as the others, and probably more likely to remember her early struggles. I know she wants something from Zane Tararis. I need to find out what it is, then get it for her. I'm afraid not. I traded in some favors to get a better idea of what she's seeking, but I learned very little. Apparently her mouth, Erevan Ontham, has some correspondence that might give us a clue. I need that letter. Oh, yes. House Telvanni has its warts, but it's a true meritocracy. With enough guile and cunning, even a lowly slave can sit on the council. I've studied spellcraft since before I could lift a broom. All I need now is the sponsorship of a magister. Thurana's been haranguing the council, trying to get their help in claiming Zane Tararis from House Redrin. She wants something in that shrine. I aim to get it for her. Her mouth, Erevan Ontham, has a letter that contains the clues we need. Be cautious in the council house, Sarah. House Telvanni is not just some beast you can slay. In this place, subtlety will serve you better than any shield. We have to play the game. Truthfully, it doesn't. Not yet. Telvanni plots take time to develop. If I demand Ioki's freedom too early, I show my hand. Suddenly, he's a valuable piece in the game, moved and sacrificed as the Magisters see fit. Do I sense a rebuke? It's not ideal, I know. Look, I treasure Ioki. He's placed his trust in me. I hope you'll do the same. It was during one of his many escape attempts. I was cleaning Master Otheri's tableware when Ioki burst through the kitchen door, dragging his chains behind him. He threw open the window and started to climb through it. Then he saw me. He hesitated, even smiled. You don't see Mars slaves smile much. Certainly not when they're being chased by Nyx hounds. They dragged him off and threw him in the dry box. He told me he'd spend a year in there if it meant seeing me again. There's an old alchemist's proverb. No reaction is ever so forceful as the mixing of opposing components. A mouthful, I know, but it fits. Ioki and I occupy different poles on the same spear. He keeps me grounded. I keep him safe.
And who might you be? Master Erevan is away on business. Has been for some time, in fact. I know a prowler when I see one. What do you want? No one just wanders into a council mouth's office looking around. I should report you. What are you really after? And do be honest, we've already wasted enough time here. Ah, the one about Zane Tiraris, is it? Well, I could call the guard and be about my day, but I am a Telvanni after all. We don't turn away an opportunity when it presents itself. Perhaps you could help me with a problem I've run into. It's a matter of literature, or lack thereof. I wrote a poem, you see, a cloying, drunken mess of a poem. The post delivered it to my darling Ethrandora just this morning. If you get it away from her, the letter is yours. She spends most of her time in the study, here in the council hall. She's very diligent, always leaning over one book or another. And the way she licks her thumb when she turns the pages. Sorry, you'll find her in the study, yes. The poem's terrible. Plus, if word got to my parents that I'd been courting a wood elf, I'd be written out of the will, repeatedly, with red ink. Then there's also the possibility of blackmail. Why do you think Ethrandora keeps it on her? She knows that if Master Erevan gets wind of this, he might dismiss me from his service. Clever minx. Working for a council mouth is a fine occupation, Fla. I can't risk losing it. She's such a pretty, dainty thing. Not at all like those other scrawny Acon elves. Add a half bottle of Shane to a lusty heart and you wind up with some very poor decisions. The poem's terrible. Plus, if word got to my parents that I'd been courting a wood elf, I'd be written out of the will. Repeat.
That's distressing.
I hope this is good news. Well, quick, give it here. Phew, what a relief. All right, Fla, I'm going to burn this embarrassment. I sure hope I didn't leave Master Erevan's correspondence box unlocked. That would be careless in the extreme. Farewell. Good riddance to bad writing.
there you are. I was afraid you'd been compromised. Were you successful? Did Anthem have anything worth reading? May I? Ah, a saint's relic. Saint Films. Never heard of him. Says here, the Redarin want it too. To squirrel away in some musty old chapel, no doubt. We need to make sure Thorana gets it before they do. Looks like the shrine is locked, protected by some puzzle ward. Luckily, the letter provides some hints on how to break in. Solve the puzzle, grab the relic, then make haste to tell Borana. Thorana should be there. Offer her the relic on my behalf. Somewhere between certain and apprehensive. The Telvanni respect all clever schemes and love to barter. This little intrigue will prove my worth, I know it. Then again, she could just try to take the relic by force. Run? Telvanni magisters wield magics that put Giuliano's to shame. Of course, you're quite the hero in your own right. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Trading here.
I've got what you need.
you betcha! You leave. You know, I like to think I'm agreeable. I was tired of walking anyway. In a big family, you have to know how to scrap. Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting. enemy is this way. Quite a bounty. I'm glad I don't have to carry it.
The door is open! Open at last! Hee hee hee!
watching. I'm getting good at this. Well, I probably shouldn't be proud of that. That was a bit of a warm-up.
Off with you, Swit!
asking. This much till I met you. They're coming for us.
Oh, excellent. Another clumsy adventurer bumbles into my home. I really must put a hex on that lift. Have you come to rob me? That would go very poorly for you. Sun in Shadow. Oh yes, I know the lizard. An enterprising young mage, if memory serves. Don't look so surprised. Her magical abilities are the worst-kept secret in Sadrath Mora. What does she want? I hope you bring more than boring salutations. Do you now? Well, she's a clever one, isn't she? Even convinced you to do the work for her. Impressive. So, what does our scaled friend want in exchange for this relic? No. Give me a moment. I'm keen to guess. She wants her freedom, right? Oh, good. I was afraid she'd do something boring with her freedom, like run off into the marsh to worship trees or some such. Sun in Shadow shall have my endorsement. I'll give you a writ. Deliver it to my mouth, Erevan. He'll know what to do. There, that should be sufficient. Now, take that writ and be off. I have a relic to study.
I'm rather busy right now.
There is an urgent task for you.
Do you need something? I'm rather busy at the moment. Oh? Let me see that. Submit to council. Argonian slave freed. Services to House Telvanni. Well, well. I've always known Sun in Shadow to be ambitious, but this is quite the master stroke. I shall take this to the council and send for her. Feel free to wait in the council chamber. We will rule on this matter soon. One other thing. Some of my personal correspondence went missing recently. If that ever happens again, the Morag Tong will hear of it. I trust we understand each other. I'll give this to the council.
I've imagined this moment since I was a hatchling. I knew I'd be free eventually, but now that the moment's here, I just hope I don't embarrass myself. They'll deliberate, needle each other a bit, then set me free. I only hope that they'll take me on as a hireling as well. I'll even get my own quarters. Can you imagine that? Not only my own room, a whole house to myself. My heart is racing. Yes, of course. I mean, eventually. We can talk about that later. Just let me bask in this moment, all right? Truly, I couldn't have done this without you and Ioki. A plan is only as useful as the people who carry it out. You have my deepest thanks, Sarah. Now, I suppose it's time.
Well, well. What brings a slave to our audience chamber?
I bring tidings from my august patron, Magister Tharana. She would have your masters know that this slave, Sun in Shadow, has earned her favor.
What? Magister Tharana would lend her good name to this thing? Preposterous.
R'Larsa, don't be as tiresome as your master.
Can we move this along, please?
Very well. Magister Tharana, by right of rank, demands that the slave girl, Sun in Shadow, be freed from her bonds and raised up to a hireling of the great House Telvanni. She belongs to Magister Otheri, does she not?
Indeed. My most beneficent patron, Magister Otheri, acquiesces to Magister Tharana's demands. He is confident that Tharana will remember this kindness in the future. Sun and Shadow, you are hereby freed and lifted up to the rank of hireling.
My most majestic patron, Magister Gothrin, warns you all. Lift up one of these beasts, and 1,000 more will follow. This is folly.
If there's nothing else, I have urgent business in Tel Mora.
You've done well, girl. Do come by in a day or so. I may have some work for you.
A hireling. Can you believe it? Not much of a title, I know, but I've spent a lifetime earning it. I'll burn these rags, polish my scales, and work even harder. The next few days are critical. I can't afford any slip-ups. Magisters circle new hirelings like cliff racers. If they see any sign of weakness, they swoop in and pick the bones clean. Not yet, no. Like I said, even the smallest mistake could spell disaster. It's still too early. I can't say more, not here anyway. Too many listening ears. Meet me in my new quarters, all right? I have a plan that might speed things along. Welcome, Sarah. Sorry about the mess. Believe it or not, this place feels like a palace compared to my old slave quarters. With any luck, I won't stay here long. I've hatched a plan that might catapult me to the rank of House Retainer. I'm glad you asked. Retrieving scrolls and relics, gathering up roots and mushrooms. That's what the Magisters expect from hirelings. Trust me when I say nothing stunts advancement like doing the expected. Real estate. Surprised? Good. Master Thirith's been making secret inquiries, looking for land near Voss. Ioki knows a farmer who may be willing to sell his plot. If I purchase the deed and give it to Firith, he might sponsor my next promotion. I know I could count on you. Here's the gold. I'll not pay a drake more than what's in that pouch. Mostly because I don't have a drake more than what's in that pouch. Ioki can... Fantastic! I bought new clothes, see? And no more sharing a room with 8 other people. This space belongs to me. It's mine. Best of all, I can stop hiding. I don't have to tuck my tomes under blankets or hide scrolls in my bodice. I can just be. Of course, everyone works for the Magisters in one way or another. Hirelings occupy the lowest rung on the ladder. Aside from slaves, of course. But we can earn a wage and study in peace. We can even refuse a task if we wish. It's remarkable. I enjoyed more freedom than most, it's true. Most of the Marshborn slaves hated me for it. Called me Smokescale, Elfheart, and much, much worse. But that's all behind me now. I won. I harnessed my ambition, served my masters with loyalty and discretion, and earned my freedom. They whine like belly-sick whores and rot in chains. It doesn't get any clearer than that. I told you before, these things take time. I can't simply buy him because hirelings aren't allowed to own slaves, and I can't just set him free without jeopardizing my position in the house. This requires patience and an overabundance of caution. Archmagister Otheri. None of the other Magisters would have him. Too many escape attempts. Then there's the matter of magical aptitude. The Telvanni abhor hissed magic, and make him wear suppression manacles all the time, even when he sleeps. Doubtful. Hissed magic doesn't operate by the same rules as Telvanni spellcraft. I think that's why the Magisters hate it so much. I can't say for certain, but I doubt there's anything in Ioki's repertoire that could get him out of Sadrith Mora. From what I gather, he wants to build a new tower there. I've no idea why. Mistress Dratha essentially owns Voss, and I can tell you she does not welcome intruders. If I was mad enough to antagonize one of the Magisters, it would not be Dratha. I only need him to survive long enough to sponsor me. He won't break ground on his tower anytime soon. Plus, there's a rumor that Dratha suffers from some mysterious illness. It could be Firith's doing. You never can tell with the Telvanni.
The guild requests your help.
This is taking forever.
Greetings. We must speak quickly. The overseers grow nosy and suspicious. I do. Otheri banished me to those farms for a time. I spent 30 days in the dry box and heard many things. A salt rice farmer named Barris Rendo grumbled like a sick crocodile. His wife called Voss a backwater sty. He would sell. Why do you ask? She gave you gold? I thought... My heart told me that she gathered coin to purchase my freedom. She probably seeks to parlay this into an even greater sum. I trust her judgment, even if I do not fully understand it. Good luck, my friend.
This is Magister Gothrin's private property. Keep walking. Ah, another adventurer. If you've come looking for salt rice, you'll have better luck in the market. A slim harvest, you know, and we're a bit short-handed at the moment. My son, Sathan, has gone missing, you see. You haven't run into him, have you? Wouldn't I? I gave up work as a financier in Balmora for a chance at the simple life. I love it here. But my wife, she struggles with the agrarian life. We'd jump at the chance to leave, believe me. But not before finding our boy. Yes, in an instant. Like I said, Nineveh's practically packed her bags already. If you bring back our boy, we'll sell. Sathan's always been a thrill-seeker. Probably got lost in that Daedric ruin, Esutanimus. You'll find it just east of here. It's called Esutanimus. Sathan's taken an interest in Daedric history. A waste of time if you ask me, but I do admire his enthusiasm. We spoke about the shrine just a few days before he vanished. Apparently it venerates that monster, Molag Bal. I don't go anywhere near that place. We've got enough troubles here. Lean harvests, clumsy Telvanni wizards, my wife hen-pecking me to death. No, I'll not invite some plague from the House of Troubles as well. Thank you, Seryo. Be careful, and 3 protect you.
Where is it? Where is she?
Not again!